Dumplings she made were clearly fishy and foul-smelling. Yet after eating them a few times, one could regain their youth. That's because all her ingredients came from the hospital. And the nurses were her suppliers. The secret ingredient stored in her metal bucket was a fetus that had just been aborted at the hospital. One day, just as Lisa was carrying her fresh ingredients home, Mrs. Lee, who had ordered dumplings, came knocking on her door. She'd heard that these dumplings could make people look younger. Lisa knew how picky these wealthy ladies were. So she added extra ginger to mask the fishy smell. Mixing in cabbage and eggs, she began mincing the meat. In less than half an hour, a batch of exquisite dumplings was ready. But when Lisa brought the dumplings to the table, Mrs. Lee was still overwhelmed by the foul stench. She even accidentally dropped a dumpling on the floor. Even the dog gave it a wide berth when it caught the whiff. But this broke Lisa's heart. She quickly picked it up and placed it in a flower pot. Since these dumplings make excellent fertilizer, the flowers blooming in the pot were exceptionally vibrant. Upon learning of the dumplings' remarkable effects, Mrs. Lee decided to give the dumplings a try. However, she still felt a bit queasy. Seeing this, Lisa had no choice but to cheer her on, even going so far as to put on a little show. As Mrs. Lee's attention was diverted, she quickly ate all the dumplings. The very next moment, Mrs. Lee's skin became rosy. Once she realized her skin was truly improving, Mrs. Lee became completely hooked. She came to eat dumplings almost every week. Although her wrinkles had vanished after 2 weeks, she was still a far cry from a 20-year-old girl. Little did she know that her husband was flirting with a massage parlor girl. Although his hair was completely white, he had his own secret regimen for staying healthy. He ate half-hatched duck eggs every day to maintain his vitality. However, what he never could have imagined was that his wife would become even more obsessed than he was. Yet the subtle changes in Mrs. Lee's face went completely unnoticed by the wealthy man. Even on the night of their wedding anniversary, the wealthy man simply handed her a check for 100,000 yuan and made a phone call without even looking at her. At first, Mrs. Lee didn't think much of it, but she soon realized that the voice on the other end of the line belonged to a young woman. In that instant, Mrs. Lee felt a wave of disappointment. Because right now, she didn't want money at all. She just wanted her husband's heart. Yet it was precisely from that day on that Mrs. Lee could no longer wait to grow younger bit by bit. Instead, she wanted to return to her 20s overnight. So she went to Lisa's house, hoping Lisa could help her come up with a solution. She was willing to pay any amount of money. Lisa immediately came up with a good idea: a 5-month-old fetus. In the end, Lisa agreed to the deal for 10 million yuan, but a 5-month-old fetus was extremely hard to find. Mrs. Lee had no choice but to go home and wait patiently for news. Little did she know that the moment she left, a mother came to Lisa with her daughter. It turned out her daughter had accidentally become pregnant, but since the girl was still too young, that's why they'd heard about Lisa. However, to Lisa's surprise, the girl happened to be exactly 5 months pregnant, exactly the stage Mrs. Lee needed. Without a moment's hesitation, Lisa agreed to help the girl. She then subjected her to 3 hours of torture in a room, and eventually successfully extracted the fetus.